of note that marriage is a union between two persons, a man and a wife. The two of them coming together to become a husband and wife. Even the Holy Scripture in the book of Titus talked about how a woman shall leave her house to marry a husband to become husband and wife. And on today's episode of Amazing Amazon, we'll be talking with a relationship and marriage expert, Esther Solarin, as we talk about marriage, do's and don'ts involved. Please enjoy it. A perfect marriage is simply a marriage between two imperfect people who have decided not to give up on themselves. It is also written in the Holy Scripture, in the book of Titus, to be precise, where the Bible told us that marriage is a relationship between two people who have come together to become one. On today's episode of Amazing Amazon, we have a relationship and marriage expert with us to talk about marriage, the do's and don'ts of the marriage. She is a certified marriage and relationship consultant. She is a professional counselor. She's the founder of I Am Marriage Wealthy. She is the lead counselor at the Imole Counseling, and she is the author of Dear Bride to Be. It's a pleasure to have you. Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for honoring my
Thank
invitation.
you.
I must say a very big thank you to you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're talking about, did I mention your name earlier? Yes, she's Esther Solarin. Yes, I was so carried away about that. She's a whole lot. She's a counselor, she's an author, she's a mother, she's a wife, she's excellent in everything she does. So today, like I said earlier, we're talking about the do's and don'ts of marriage. You are a marriage counselor, a relationship expert. You can also say you are a life coach, isn't it? Now, what inspired you to be a marriage and relationship counselor in the first place? Like, how did you get started in this field?
I was curious about marriage.
Okay, just curiosity.
I was curious, and I was this kind of person that everybody would want to talk to about their problems, or no, about their relationship issues.
Problems, okay?
I mean, as a then, that was what it was. So whether I just got out of a heartbreak or I have a relationship,
nobody cares.
They don't want to know. They just felt very comfortable talking to me. And because I lost my dad when he was 6, when I was 6, so
sorry about
living, that's fine. Living with a widow made me want to understand what marriage was really about, because typical African society, they'll tell you you're going to get married someday. Yeah. So you're like, okay, so what's up with this marriage?
Yeah, what would I do?
What am I going to do? Okay, I don't have a picture here. Yeah. And then you're looking around and you're not so convinced about the marriages you are seeing. And then I'm like, okay, this, I know God said we should marry, but I'm not sure marriage is supposed to go this way. You know, and then you now want to learn about it. You want to help people. So it initially started with me wanting to help myself, you know, and in the process of helping myself, I began to realize that there are so many people who don't even know what I know. Yeah. You know, there are so many singles who are wasting away. Permit you to use the word wasting. Yeah. So they think they are waiting, but they are actually wasting their time, you know. And as I began to go on that journey, I saw that there is a way to go about these things. Yeah. There is a way to have the kind of marriage that you would really, really say, I am genuinely happy in this marriage. There is a path to it. And that was what started the process for me. So at some point, I knew that this your advice, if you don't go to where they will teach you, don't cause problem. So then I decided to take it professionally, go to a school, learn about counseling, the whole process, then of course keep reading, and here we are.
I have introduced you to my audience the other time, but I still want to know who Esther Solarin is. Like, who is she? What does she entail? What does she carry? Who is she? Like, when she steps into the room, what aura does she give? Who do people know her to be? How do people respect her in the whole society?
Who is she?
Yeah, who is she? I'd really love to know more about her.
This is the first time someone is going to ask me.
Oh.
Okay, so now that you've asked, who is Esther? So Esther is
The queen in the Bible?
Come on. Not bad. You know, I used to run I still run a podcast.
Okay.
But there was a time the introduction of my podcast was my name is Esther Solarin, the daughter of the king, wife of a king, and of course a kingmaker.
Okay.
And I put it in so much song.
Period.
Okay, so Esther is first and foremost God's child.
Oh.
I am unapologetically a Christian. Apologies to those who don't like it, but yeah, we make choices. And I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I have a 2-year-old that is showing me how to keep fit, you know, showing me how to ensure that you're running around, you're just stop it, pick it, carry it. So yeah,
I think that's what every child is. That's what every child looks like.
It's not even funny. But yeah, I mean, I'm grateful for that, and I am also a counselor.
Yeah.
A professional counselor. I like to always add professional because there are so many
counselors, online counselors.
So many people, you know, who just come out to say stuff, and when you listen to them and you ask them, where did you learn all of this? You realize that they have nothing to show for it. So I'm the founder of Imole Counseling.
Great.
Of course, that came about because I wanted people to know there is a safe space for you to come.
Why Imole Counseling?
Why Imole Counseling?
The only person we know to use the word Imole is Osun State Governor.
There's a story to that name. Why should you want to hear that story?
Maybe you should just briefly.
I'm excited. Okay, so before I got married in 2019.
Okay.
And I remember that day, I think it was the day before my wedding or 2 days before.
Yeah.
I was just praying and all of that. And then this thought came to mind. So, you know, normally they would say, as a Yoruba person, they'll say, Oja okuku nigbeyawo.
Yeah.
So what that means is marriage is like black market.
Yeah.
That is when you enter it, you would, whatever
Apologies
you see,
to non-Yoruba speakers.
whatever you see,
you deal with it.
Yes, is what you deal with. And in that moment, what the father was telling me was, for a Christian, marriage is not black market. It's not black market, because the Bible clearly tells us that His word is a lamp unto our feet.
Oh, yes.
And a
light unto our path. Yeah.
So that means all through that journey there is light for us. So it is wrong for us as Christians to now assume that because everybody says marriage is black market, so that's the same thing for us. It's not black market. I know what I am going into.
Yeah.
I have light. I walk in the abundance of light. So light means knowledge. Light means clarity. Light means direction. You know, and that was it for me. So it was actually a revelation for me, that as you're starting this journey, you are not alone. I get backing. You know, and
I work with God the Father.
I work with God the Father, and I have abundance of light.
Great.
You know, so yeah, that was it. And when I wanted to start the counseling outfit, like, you know, make it legal. Of course, I've been counseling
low key,
but like, you know, do it professionally. Go to CAC, do registration and all that. I needed an actual name. Yeah. And then I remembered that the day before I got married, I got that direction. So I'm like, I don't want to say light counseling. So let's turn it to Yoruba.
Imole Counseling. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So now let's go into the talking point proper now. What are some of the most common issues you see in marriage and relationship, and how do you help clients work through them? Is it divorce? Because I've read recently that just in January in Abuja, to precise, more than 4,000 couples are filed for divorce. So what's the most common issue in relationship and marriage? So
divorce is the end
game.
The end game. There are always issues leading to divorce.
So what's the most common one?
Most common, if I were to sum it up in 2 words, it is love and respect.
Yeah, love and respect.
Yes, it is love and respect. Because that is where every other thing comes in, from infidelity to he doesn't give me attention. Yeah. It is all summed up in love and respect. And this is how it works. So, love from the woman's side. Yeah. And then she's saying, I just need you to give me attention. I need you to look at me, compliment me. I need you to help me out. Like, why am I the only one doing everything in the house? If you love me the way you say you do, you won't cheat on me. So it's always from that perspective of, I want you to really show you care for me, to really show you love me. And from the man's perspective, it's always a case of respect. Why is she talking to me like that? And so even if I didn't do what she said I should do, did she have to talk to me like that? Why did she talk to my in-laws like that? Or she didn't have, like, so you just realize that everything he talks about somehow boils down to the way you made him feel because of what you've done. So they feel disrespected. Like, it's so funny that you can have a couple in session, you would expect they have one common issue, right? But by the time they start explaining, there are two different things entirely.
I've read somewhere someone online that 3 things men are huge on is the food, the respect, and then sex. It now depends on how they arrange it. What are the 3 things women are most fond of?
Love, money. Okay,
I love money.
Okay, Sam.
Why money twice?
I think we just like to be taken care of,
Okay, attention.
Okay, so wait. Let me put a balance. This is just me catching cruise right now.
Okay.
But I know that women primarily want to be seen as a priority.
Sure.
They want to know that you see them as a priority. They want to know that above your work, above your religious affiliations, I am a priority for you. So if I am to say it again, it would be 1, make me a priority. 2, love me. Don't by love me, I mean, don't make me feel like I am losing out on something. Because it's like you are having it, you just have it, you have the girls, you have the money, and I am just there suffering. No, show me that even with your girls and your money and all of that, you really care for me. My needs are important to you. Then I think the 3rd thing has to be support. It has to be support.
Okay, now I want to ask something. How do you stay updated, like, in the latest research and techniques in marriage and relationship counseling, and how do you incorporate this knowledge into your practice? We learn every day. So how do you stay afloat?
Stay updated.
Updated.
You have to keep reading.
Oh, from Dear Jero. My name is, please keep me anonymous. Is that how?
No, please.
Okay, because it's so common on social media right now. You're saying, hi, please keep me anonymous. I cheated on my husband. It wasn't intentional. Oh, I did something wrong. And there are some things you read online and you are flabbergasted. If there's another better word, like, you are, I'm looking for a word that will express how I feel. You'll be surprised as how he or she did it. Okay, let me just in a few minutes, let me just explain one to you. I listened to a podcast. I'm a lover of podcasts. So I listened to a podcast where a lady sent a message to Dan. She was like, oh, hi, Jola and FK. I'm married for many years. Apparently, they have been able to give birth, but she wasn't the fault. She wasn't the problem. The man was the problem. But because while she was in school, when she was in uni, she was a whore. She had a couple of abortions, but then she wasn't the problem. But the man went up and down telling the whole family that she was the problem. So she got angry and she could not defend herself because he also told the family that she was a whore when she was in uni. And now she was pained because the man wasn't bearing. The man was even spoiling her outside and maybe pampering her inside. The man was destroying her self-esteem and image, both inside and outside. So the husband's brother came back from the US to spend some time in their home. I know in every family there's always this not too cool with every member of the family that the mother does not like him or the father does not like him, but he is just who he is as a person. So he came back and she forced herself on him. They made out. And not once, not twice, they made out. Unfortunately for her, she got pregnant.
Interesting.
She traveled out of the country with the guy. She gave birth and she divorced the husband. Luckily, the guy is not really a family person, so he kind of does not hold anyone any explanation. And the lady too doesn't hold. Now she has given birth. I've divorced your son. Let him go and marry someone else and have kids. I was shocked when I listened to, like, it sounds like an epic movie. It sounds like an epic movie.
These things happen. These things happen, you know. Sometimes you would be surprised at how people make the decisions they make.
But if they have come to a counselor at any point in their life, do you think it would have resulted to such drastic decision?
So counseling plays a huge role. It's like I can't even begin to explain how much of a blessing counseling is, you know, because the truth is this thing. There's something about when there is a third party in that conversation. So normally, you know, people will tell you, oh, don't bring any third party into your marriage. Don't get anybody involved.
3 is a crowd.
3 is a crowd. We agree. But 3 is a crowd when that person is your family member. Or when that person is a biased person. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
3 is a crowd when you know that person is biased. But when it is a counselor who is truly a professional, that person will not be biased. So what that means is, I imagine in this type of scenario, they were able to see a counselor. The counselor would point it out to the man that what you are doing is wrong. It is possible.
But you know, men and their ego, they would not like to agree that
it depends on how the counselor goes about it. It's not like you are going to just say, you are the one that's fault. See what you've done. It is just, okay, let's talk about this. Let's look at this. So this is the issue. You know, by asking, there's where you ask these questions. There's where you get them to say the answers themselves. They would see it. So some people are not teachable. And what that means is, even after you've said everything, they are still like, I don't care. I am going to do what I want to do. You've done your best as a counselor. So whatever decision they now choose to make is on them. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But counseling in itself, when done right, when done in agreement with the clients, will always produce positive results. Yes.
No, so back to the question, how do you stay updated?
How do I stay updated as a professional,
as a
right?
professional.
Or you mean updated as in...
As a professional, and
as a
how
professional.
You inculcate it into your streamline of career.
So as a professional, I am always going for courses.
Okay,
in fact,
beautiful.
I'm just about to start another one.
Beautiful.
I just finished one. I just went for a family delegates conference. So you have to keep staying in that pool of knowledge, because you don't know it all. There is always someone that knows it better than you do. And sometimes just exchanging value makes you better. So for me, I am always constantly in that space where I am learning. And I also read books. There are lots of books on marriages. In fact, I can't even count the number of books I have read, really. You know, so I read books and I observe. Sometimes observation is a very good teacher. I observe from my marriage too. If you follow me online, many of the things I teach are from my own personal stories.
Yeah.
I just look at them, I'm like, that was a lesson there, you know. And then I write about it or make a video about it, and then I post. So I also learn from my life, because as far as I'm concerned, I want to practice what I preach.
Oh, great.
Do you get? So I learn from my life and I learn from others. I just basically observe. I want to know why they are doing what they are doing. I ask people questions. Okay, what was that about? You know, so just by observation, by reading, by going for courses, it puts me on a higher lane.
So how do you handle different clients, situations you're counseling? Like, how do you maintain a positive, productive, and therapeutic session? Because I know some people can be a handful. I've seen a post online where someone said, oh, I just told probably it was a cruise, or probably it was just for the fun of social media. I've told a counselor about a live matter, and she was like, like, did you really do this? So how do you ensure you have a productive counseling session, a therapeutic one? Okay. You know, there's a reflective moment that, you talk to a counselor and you really know that, what you have done, is that good or bad? And this is out. So how do you handle difficult clients?
It's sometimes inevitable, really. It's sometimes inevitable. But for me, I just, when people come into my session, and I see that I think this person is a little difficult. One of the things I tell myself is, this person is coming from a place. This person is coming from a place. Like, you do not know this person's story. We were not created to be difficult. Do you understand? We're not, it wasn't like when they gave birth to us, we're born difficult. No, life happened to us and then we became difficult. By life happened, it can be trauma from rape to abuse to whatever. Like,
So you're saying you're 100% not judgmental.
100, to the best of my abilities.
Okay, great.
To the best of my abilities. Because there are some times that you're like, okay. Okay.
we have to go on a short break right now. You're still on to Esther Solarin, a relationship and marriage expert. When we return, we're talking about how she measures the success of each counseling session. Please stay with us. It's a pleasure to have you back here also onto the program Amazing Amazon. This is the program for every females out there, not just for the female folks, but for everybody. This is where we get to bring female guests to talk about what they do, how they thrive in their career, and also to motivate you. Just before we went to that short break, we've been talking back and forth with our guest, Esther Solarin. She's a relationship expert. She's a counselor. She owns a counseling agency of her own, and also she's an author. Come on, she's a wife, she's a mother, she's everything a woman we aspire or perspire to be. Just before we went to that short break, we said we're talking about, I asked the question earlier and I'm asking you again. So how do you measure the success of each therapy sessions? How do you know, oh, you've done your best in these therapy sessions? Like, how do you rate yourself? What metric do you use to track your progress and outcomes? And do you also do follow-ups on all your clients?
Okay. So, success is a two-way street for me. Yeah, when it comes to measuring it. On one hand, I know that I have to put in my best. I have to be the counselor, be empathetic, and do all of that. But I also know that there is a responsibility that falls on my clients to implement whatever it is we've agreed upon. Do you get? So if you come into session and you are not willing to have that conversation or willing to go through the session, I will struggle.
Okay.
But I will still put in my best. I will still try to, find a way to draw it out of you and, just basically have a good time. But if the person doesn't give me that energy, there's only so much I can do, Do you get? So, having said all of that, apart from that feel-good feeling, that was good. The important thing for me is were we able to achieve the goal we set at the beginning of the session. So anytime a client comes in, we always establish the counseling goal. Always.
Okay.
What do you want to, why are you here? What's that thing that you want to achieve? How would you feel at the end of this session that will make you know that it was worth my time and money? So we would have already established those things. So at the end of the day, we are now saying, we are cross-checking. Did we achieve it?
Yeah.
Did you gain the clarity you said you want to gain?
Yeah.
Do you feel better? Or you said you would have you feel more peaceful and at rest. Do you now feel more peaceful and at rest?
Yeah.
So then I begin to ask my clients those questions, and the feedback from that would give me a gauge to know if it was really successful.
Do you do follow-ups? Oh, my client was
Of course, I do follow-ups. Definitely.
Great.
Definitely. And sometimes we even have follow-up sessions.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, follow-up sessions to say, okay, so we've had whatever it is we wanted to have. We've talked about what we want to talk about. Have you been able to implement the things you're supposed to implement? So let's talk about it. Where are you now? So, for instance, you are married and you see your husband a certain way, and in the course of the session we've been able to reframe that thinking. So you definitely have to go home and do your homework, then come back. How was that? So if the person is like oh yes, then that was good, yes, oh now I see the light, I'm like yeah. And if the person is I see the light, but okay, so let's talk about it. What is that about? And then we begin to see if there is a need to do something extra.
I'm very sure my viewers at home are dying to know how many sessions will an individual or a group of individuals need to accomplish a certain goal. Like, oh, if I'm coming to you, I just got married not too long ago. I've decided not to have kids in my and my parents are refusing to let me rest. And my husband wants it. I also want it. But because probably I have a small stature and I don't like wearing my wedding ring and all of that, how many sessions would I end? Or it depends on my type of problem.
I wouldn't call it problem.
Okay.
I would rather say challenge. Or situation. Yeah, it depends. Like you've answered it. There is no one size fits all for these things because people, the issues differ.
Yeah.
One, two, people are different. It's just like when you go to the hospital, everybody can have the same headache, but the time for the headache to go might differ.
Yeah.
Because for some people, what they come as the presenting issue is not even the issue. Like you'll be surprised. They are telling you, I just don't like the way my boyfriend talks to me. I don't like it. I get really angry and upset. And then you're like, okay. In the course of asking questions and trying to find out, you realize that this person suffered from verbal abuse as a child. So that is where it is coming from. Do you get? So if initially it was just supposed to be 3 sessions, it may not be 3 sessions anymore because there is now something deeper to deal with, especially if that client is willing to explore.
Yeah.
But if the client is not willing to explore, you can leave it as what the client came for. So this is what you came for.
No
okay,
problem.
you know, let's deal with this. So averagely, I would say maybe from 3 sessions and above.
Yeah.
3 sessions and above. So it depends. For instance, I imagine the situation whereby the couple have been having issues for 5-6 years. You can't solve 6 years issues
with just one session.
In one session.
On the flip side, how expensive is a counseling session? Because deep down, everybody wants to try out a counselor, but they feel like, she will tell me 100K now. If I have 100K, where am I going through this problem? So how expensive? You don't necessarily have to give us a price range, but how expensive is a counseling session?
You see that word expensive?
Out of it.
That is what I have an issue with.
Okay. How do you guys charge? What's your price rate? How do you send invoices to people?
Okay. Again, it depends on the challenges. It depends on your area of expertise. It depends on your level of expertise. It depends on the motive behind what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it can range from as little as 30,000, 20,000 to as high as 100K. I think somebody was saying 500K. So really, it depends on the counselor and how they've put together their outfits.
Yeah.
Do you get? But I need to say this because you see, this concept of expensive it is a challenge. You're having issues. It is affecting you, affecting your work, affecting your relationship, and then somebody tells you to pay 50K for instance. You're like, oh my God, 50K, I want to die, it's too expensive. That same person has 50K for Ashwebi. So you then see that it's just relative. It's just about the priority we've placed on these things. So I like to call it investment. How much investment are you willing to make for the growth of your marriage or relationship? For me as a counselor, I pay money for courses. You know, money that you know, okay, let's do this. Why? Because it's an investment for me. So no money is too expensive for me to pay for courses. So if I as a counselor think that way, then you as a client, it will be unfair for you to now come to me and make it look like, oh my God, your money is too much, I can't do this. If it's a priority, you would make it happen. That's it.
When I was introducing her the other time, I said she's a mother, she's a wife. And now I want to know, how do you balance between both? How do you balance between your professional life and your marital life? Like, how do you separate, how do you balance your professional life with your professional responsibilities? I mean, like, what do you do? How do you deal with stress and maintaining work-life balance?
First and foremost, I work from home.
Okay.
I'm sorry, people that go through traffic, not me.
You're too soft to go through that life.
I just feel like you have to create the kind of life you want for yourself.
Yeah.
So the fact that I work from home makes things really flexible for me. So that means that my sessions are strictly virtual.
Oh.
Strictly virtual, because I have noticed that by the time I go through the stress of typical Lagos traffic,
Yeah.
it just does something to me.
To you.
So that's on one hand. The second thing I do is, my life is an expression of my career. So I am so authentic to a point that I don't have to fake anything. Like my marriage is like an open book. I am not trying to form married, then show up in sessions. No, my sessions is an overflow of how I run my marriage. Now, does that mean I bring my personal experiences into counseling? Not necessarily. Do you get? I still go by the books. I still ensure I am focused on the client himself. But I am just saying that I don't exactly have two separate lives.
Yeah.
Do you get? Because they are all intertwined for me. And I ensure I create time to rest. When I'm tired, I'm tired. When I can't take a session that time, I can't take a session that time. Can we reschedule? Yes. So I just create a life that works for me.
Okay, so how do you collaborate with other else, psychiatrists, professionals, therapists? How do you collaborate with them?
Collaboration is the new gold.
Oh.
You can't do it alone. So sometimes I do master classes, I do online courses. I bring people on board. Yes, I know it, but what if you know it better?
Yeah.
What if there is a perspective you have that I do not even have? So I bring them on board. Then even for counseling itself, I have no issues escalating where necessary. If I see that this is beyond my area of expertise, I escalate. If I see that, okay, I'm not sure I'm getting through to this person, I'm not sure we are getting the kind of results we want to get, I have a network of people I can always, refer to. So that doesn't disturb me at all.
The main purpose of this program is to motivate people to reach out to young minds, to tell them that they're doing excellently well. So how, if you want to advise anyone that's considering counseling as a career path, it is now universities, guidance and counseling as a course. So what advice do you have to people that are thinking, or they're already in the field, but they think, oh, when I graduate, I'll just go open a makeup studio. I'll just go and start tying gilly. Oh, I'll start going doing TikTok and be dancing. So what advice do you have to motivate them and to tell them that, oh, counseling is a great career path?
You can do it. Don't let anybody dull your shine. You can do it. We are in need of more counselors. We need more hands.
Yeah.
Just like I was telling you privately, there are so many people in need of counseling, because now more awareness is being made, and the number of counselors currently available isn't enough to go around the number of persons in need of it. So there is a market for you, from relationship counseling to grief therapy to, like, it is endless. It is endless. So there is space for you. But what I would say is, when you are done with school, seek professional courses. Like, don't just say, oh, BSc guidance for counseling, that's it. No, that's just the beginning. Go search online. You have a lot, depending on the area you want to specialize in. And get specialized, and then you would see social media is your platform. It's a very good platform. You will get your clients, and you can build your portfolio from there.
As a female child, it is kind of uneasy to thrive. I grew up from a home where we're all females, and my dad kind of have issues with the fact that, oh, Baba girls, I don't know if you understand, and every male folk don't want to be called that name. They want male folks. They want male children. So how did you grow up in the midst of your family, and you became who you are at the moment? Growing up as a child, growing up as a female, it has issues in every phase. You will agree with me that in as you're stepping, you're meeting someone. I'm very sure as you're married right now, you're still meeting someone that is saying, oh, you're married, don't worry, let me date you like that. So how do you deal with all of these excesses?
Know who you are.
Great.
Know who you are. No external pressure can affect you until there's an internal pressure. So know who you are. Know what you are doing in this world. Know why you are here. have a goal for yourself. See, when you are self-driven, when you are God, I think a better word is God-driven.
God-driven.
When you are God-driven, when you are focused so much on self-awareness, self-development, self-mobilization, you won't even have time for whatever any other person says or think of you. But we spend so much time thinking about what other people are saying. The person talking to you, thinking about you, expecting you to be XYZ, doesn't even have a definition for his or her life. So how about you just give yourself that attention? What is your strength as a woman?
Yeah.
How much of a blessing are you as a female? And I like to tell myself I am the crown of God's creation. Whether it's a fallacy, I don't know. But that's how I feel. I just feel like God looked at everything he had created. He said, good, good, good. And he said, I think there is something better. Let's make a woman. So, I have a speck.
A hot cake, like they say on social media.
So, but the truth is, if you don't see yourself
Nobody
that way,
will see you.
nobody else will see you. So it starts from within.
So what's your final word to the male folks? And then let's not leave out the male folks. What's your final word to every gender out there?
My final word is, whatever God has called you to do it. There is a market for you. There are lives attached to you. There are lives attached to your success. Just by shining your light, you give other people a permission to shine theirs. You help them see that, okay, it's possible. So what is possible for you to do? Do it. Do it.
Do you want to share your social media handles in case anybody wants to reach
so
out
I
to
said
you?
Instagram is Imole Counseling at Imole Counseling. My personal handle is The Global Esther, because we're going global.
Great.
And you can also join my community as I Am Marriage Worthy. I almost missed that. Yes, as I Am Marriage Worthy.
So you have to go over that again.
I should go over that again.
Yeah, maybe someone was trying to pick a phone or pick a pen.
Okay. So I said Instagram, you can follow me at Imole Counseling. If you want to book a counseling session, just go there. Or I Am Marriage Worthy if you want to join my community. And if it is me you want to see personally, The Global Esther is it for you. Yeah.
I hope you were inspired, because I, as a person, I was inspired. Honestly, I have to say a very big thank you to you, the Global Esther, for coming. Yeah. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for motivating me and everybody that has watched us this afternoon. Thank you very much. More strength, more power to your ego, more grace to your ego. More success. And we hope subsequently we will call you for counseling. When you are already a big blown, you definitely call us.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, like I said earlier, I hope you were inspired. My own pattern shot for you is be consistent. Don't give up. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. There's a market for everybody, just like Esther said. There's a market for everybody. You can reach out to me on social media at Mira Talks, and then we expand the network. We keep growing as you keep growing. We go on a short break right now, and when we return, we finish and we wrap up with the program. Please stay with me. on today's episode of Amazing Amazon. I hope you were inspired, because I was inspired, and I also hope you've learned one or two things about relationship and marriage. We see you again next week. Don't forget to keep doing your best and be the best at whatever you're doing. Omotoshola Sarimakin is my name. Bye for now, and God bless you.